Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and it's a weekly reading for the week of June 3rd to the 9th. So your cards this week, Saggy, energies leaving, completing, or transitioning. You have the Five of Swords. Focus energies this week, you have the King of Wands and clarified with the Queen of Crystals, and you have the Two of Wands coming in towards the end of the week. So Saggy, recent past, you do have some conflict energy going on. So this week we've got the Five of Swords. Now, just thinking back to last week in this position, you actually had the Five of Wands, the Ten of Swords, and the Lovers, which got me thinking that the situation that you're experiencing conflict in is around a relationship situation or a strong partnership. So that could mean, in the workplace as well, or with a business partner or partner that you're working on a creative project with, that type of thing. But it's definitely pertains to a situation, I would say, that you in sort of, a very close relationship with somebody else. So last week, there was that kind of like last call energy of, what are you going to do about the situation? It wasn't necessarily you're definitely going to end it, but there was sort of like that really taking that sort of last call, deciding whether you're going to give it a second chance energy. So this week we've got the Five of Swords here. So, the Five of Swords is definitely conflict or strife energy. It also has that feeling of either you or the other party wanting to sort of win at all costs and potentially doing things or acting in ways that you wouldn't normally in order to do that. So I guess there's just that reminder there, if that's you doing that, sometimes it's not worth it. It's not worth it to, do things that are sort of out of your character in order to come out as one on top, because sometimes you just need to let things play out and they'll naturally end themselves. Now, I drew a second card for this position and we got the Wheel of Fortune, so I'm actually really pleased to see that there in the mix. So the Wheel of Fortune says that for one, this is probably a karmic situation. There's been a lesson to learn out of it. So it was predestined, it's part of your path. But now we have that wheel wanting to turn and put you on the path to a new direction. So the Wheel of Fortune, says that the luck's about to change, things are shifting up a gear. It's card number 10, so it does talk about completions and new beginnings. So I feel like this is sort of your portal this week of change away from that situation and towards a new future. The Wheel of Fortune is said to have a 10-year energy as well, so it's quite possible that the decisions that you make around the situation or in your life at the moment could have a far-reaching effect into the next decade of your life. So yeah, and 5 here, that's conflict and change energy. So I think that once the conflict dies down, it's all going to be about the wind of change for you. So let's leave the Wheel of Fortune on top. So focus energies this week, King of Wands, that's definitely you, Saggy. It's not gender specific with the King energy. It's really talks about being in your seat of power. So, King of Wands definitely fire sign energy. So I'm definitely thinking that is you, Sagittarius. And, if we were to go like this again with that conflict card, it's kind of like, you've sort of moved on from that. You're back on your throne of power and you're almost sort of looking back and looking down on that behavior as being in the past. So I think it's really great. I really think you have moved on from that. King of Wands energy is all about, being sort of dominant, being in control. Like I said, being powerful, being a visionary, being able to see to the future. So it's a good energy to be in. Now, I did draw a second card for that position as well, and I got the Three of Swords. So this definitely tells me that the energy that you've been moving out of, that conflict, that strife, that tension, it hasn't been without its pain. It hasn't been without its hurt. There is that third party energy there, so potentially there was another party in the mix as well, and you are carrying some grief with that. But that's only natural after you come out of a conflict situation. So I think that you are moving on from it this week, but there still be remnants of that around you. So now we had the King of Wands clarified with the Queen of Crystals, which is equivalent to the Queen of Pentacles in the Rider deck. So couple of meanings here. So the Queen of Crystals could be an earth sign female coming in to help you resolve this situation, to be that catalyst of change for you. So that would be a Virgo, Capricorn or Taurus. But it can also mean that you're rebalancing yourself. So the Queen of Crystals is really a practical character who can be nurturing and compassionate in the home, but she can also sort of go out and earn an income and, you know, be financial and that type of thing. So maybe it's about you, after sort of being a little bit, you know, off your game because of other situations, moving back into your seat of power and getting back onto what you're good at, you know, having that fiery determination, making things happen, you know, being in your seat of power. So yeah, that's definitely a big switch up this week for you. Now, towards the end of the week, we've got the Two of Wands. I'm really not surprised. It's a perfect fit after a Wheel of Fortune energy comes in. So basically you could see it as the Wheel of Fortune comes in, and when it does, there's definitely that feeling of unrest, and you know that change is upon you, and it's that moment where you know it's inevitable and something must change. Otherwise, you know, you're sort of at that point that you can't carry on with how things are at the moment. So they call the Two of Wands the life review card. So I think that's the energy that you're moving in towards the end of the week. You know, things have been a little bit hectic. There's been a bit of conflict. You're settling down this week, back into power. And when you're from that position, that's when you can start to think, okay, well, what next? What changes do I need to make in my life to, you know, to live a fulfilling life where I'm on my purpose? So Two of Wands energy, you can see the character in the card there. He's got his hand on the wand of the future and literally has the whole world in his hand. So it's like you have so many options open to you at the moment, Sagittarius, and all you really need to do is choose. But you'll also see behind the character there is a wand that's actually attached to the side of the castle. So you could see this is the wand of the past. So, you know, it's kind of like having like one foot in the past and 1 foot in the future, and you're sort of contemplating, you know, what to do. And the Two of Wands asks you to, you know, are you going to step out of your comfort zone in order to bring change in your life? Because, you know, if you just sort of stay doing what you're doing, then you'll get what you always got, you know, that old saying. But you can see out there in the future direction, you know, there's beautiful fertile pastures and houses, and it looks very abundant out there. You know, and we've got you here as well, holding your wand of power and looking, you know, looking in a new direction, being the visionary for that. So I really feel that this week, Sagittarius, you're picking up your wand of power. You're undergoing a life review after coming out of a period of, you know, that's been a little bit more discomforting and stressful for you. And you're really thinking, you know what is my next move? So that's your message there, Sagittarius, for the week. Keep in mind, it is a general reading. Not everyone will be going through this exactly like this week. And we'll see you for another reading next week.